Born in Russia and raised in Prague, Irina is now a Vienna-based heel dancer, performer, and dance instructor. In her late 20s, she's already turning heads, from captivating crowds as the street Catwoman of Stephansplatz to gaining national recognition on the Czech and Slovakia's Got Talent TV show in 2023. In this episode, I sit down with Irina to unpack the stereotypes around hill dancing and explore how women can reclaim their sensuality, embrace their confidence, rise above self-doubt, and navigate body image anxiety. We also reflect on what it means to redefine strength and the power of femininity through bold and sometimes provocative forms of self-expression. Where you were born and where did you grow up, and how did you end up all the way in Vienna now?
I was born in Russia. Then when I was 3 years old, we moved with my parents to Prague, to Czech Republic. And I grew up in Prague. And then I always wanted to move to Germany, or German-speaking country. So I moved first to Graz, to Austria, to learn German. But I didn't like Graz that much because it was really small for me. So then I moved to Berlin because I get job opportunity there. But Berlin was also not really But when I was living in Graz, I was traveling sometimes to Vienna. And Vienna was really beautiful city. I think it's the most beautiful German-speaking city. It was, at least for me. So then after Berlin, I was thinking I will try Vienna. So I moved to Vienna.
Okay, great. How would you explain to people who thinks that the hill dance is the same thing as stripping dance?
No, I would say I usually say heels dancing. It's I find it like ballet or any another dancing. It's just art, you know. So you don't need to put all dancers immediately into strip club when they are, because I have feeling that people have all view that they are only ballet or strippers, nothing in between. And I'm no, there are many other kind of dancers and dancing.
What made you become interested in this form of dance?
Since I was a child, when I saw for the first time a dancer, I think first dancer I ever saw, it was ballerina, ballet. And I found it so beautiful, this woman. And I was wow, I want to be also so beautiful like her and move like her. And since then, my mom brought me to the dance school and I started to dance there. I started with different type of dancing, also ballet, aerobic, different type of dancing, and so synchronized swimming, gymnastics, everything possible. And but somehow I love it, but it didn't feel really like me. And only then when I was older, I saw a dancer doing heels dancing, and I was wow, I feel that's it, that's me, that's so beautiful, because it was kind of it felt like this ballet, but somehow it was even more interesting to me, maybe more provocative, or it felt it's more me. So when I saw it, I was wow, I have to do it. I have to be like this woman. It's so exciting to watch them.
I think you have the personality for stage, for performance, you know, and you also have a very interesting look of Amy Winehouse and Lady Gaga, somewhere in between.
Thank you, that's sweet. Many people say that, so that's funny.
Many people, both men and women, see heel dance as only about being sexy. Do you think that they get it wrong?
I think for sure it's not just about being sexy. It's really it's also, I like to be sexy, I like to be hot, but it's also about that you just feel yourself, you're really connected with your body, and you really kind of know what you want and who you are, that you're not afraid to show yourself, because I think the woman who knows what they really want, and that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's really important in life.
Yeah.
But I think it was also really hard for me because, you have really a lot of limitations in your head from another people, and you really don't allow yourself sometimes to be what you want. And that's the most scariest thing in life, that you want something but you think you cannot. Or for example, even I always dreamed to be a dancer, I always dreamed to be beautiful, but I never saw myself being beautiful or good dancer.
From what moment the change happened?
I think because I started to dance, and then I was watching myself at some point, and sometimes when I was watching me exactly at that moment, I didn't find me good. But for example, now when I watch some of my videos later, I was like, why I didn't find myself good? I'm so pretty and I'm so talented. Why? And because I was thinking that someone will come to me and say to me, wow, you're good, you should do that. But nobody. I had to realize this myself, and only when I realized this myself, only then were people coming to me and saying me that.
So basically, you first recognized yourself or approved yourself before others come to you confirming the same thing. Yeah. That's very interesting. We are in this age of very self-conscious of our image, of our look. So dance somewhat helped you to break through that. And how does moving heels change the way you carry yourself, do you think?
I think it's also because you spend a lot of time watching yourself in the mirror, actually. So I think that also really helps, because people or women, they are not spending that much time, or they do, but mostly when they make up themselves or when they watch what is imperfect about themselves. But when you're dancing and you kind of really watch yourself and you enjoy yourself and you see yourself and you see a bit what you can improve.
I think that it comes in both ways. It's not just about changing yourself completely, but it's half improvement, half acceptance. So you get a chance to look at yourself straight in the face and try to accept your imperfections that you cannot change and improve the part that you can. When I do this kind of acting in front of camera, whether it is interview or reporting, I also see a lot of imperfections. And somehow, some of these imperfections, I just come to peace with it. And on the other hand, that I can also say to myself, which part I can improve better. For example, the tone that I'm using, the volume that I'm using, or the gesture that I have when I talk. These kind of small things that I can change, I can improve. But I think that self-acceptance is also something I discovered along the way. And I guess that it's probably something similar that for you too.
And I have to admit that I still don't find myself perfect, and I still don't like many things about myself, and I still doubt about myself. But I also learned that it's important to talk about it and share it, because then people understand that this is normal and that this is happening to everybody. And I learned that I have to say on the beginning on the class that you should not compare yourself to anybody. You should just focus on yourself and like yourself, because we are all beautiful, but in different way.
I also used to be very self-conscious, about the image. Every photo that I post, I have to make sure that it looks as good as possible. I think it's just a sign of insecurity. You want to make sure that you are the perfect version of yourself out there, because you fear judgment, you fear criticism. But eventually, when you realize that nobody really cares, so you stop caring so much. I mean, it's very hard not to care at all,
But I think for me, it's just like I stopped caring so much. This past week when I was doing this on-site reporting at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, I didn't really feel very well because, the travel was very exhausting, and also like the night before you don't have a lot of good sleep, your skin condition is bad, and your whole body feels puffy, your face is swollen, and it's just impossible to get your hair in place. And then when you film on site, it's very hard there are so many different factors that are not in control: the light, the wind, the noise, the setting of the venue. It's just none of those is in control, and it's almost like a recipe of disaster. And I know, like, the second I entered there, I said, this is not going to be a pretty result, at least not a pretty result of how I look. But then I was like, who cares, I'm just there, serve the purpose of reporting of some event that is going on. And I will try my best to look as professional as I want, but I'm not going to look the prettiest version of myself, but it's okay. I'm fine with that, And I think it's a very liberating experience, because then you realize that you are actually not defined by a photo, by a video, by a simple, one unique occasion. Some days you look better, some days you look worse, some days you perform better, some days you perform worse, but it doesn't really matter.
And even as you say, like, I think people wait sometimes for this perfect moment where they will feel enough pretty or like enough good to do something, but like you should do it just right now, because otherwise nothing will change. Like, this perfect moment will never come. I had a meeting like some weeks ago, and I met a guy who worked by a plastic chirurgy clinic.
Okay. Yes.
And like plastic surgeon.
Yes.
And
he is a plastic surgeon, or
he worked there as a receptionist.
I see.
And he said that there are so many people who are not happy about themselves, and they just go there because they think with changing something they will change their problems, but it never happens. Like, they're just coming back and think that they will improve something on changing something on themselves, and then they will like themselves, but no. It just starts with your head, that you really start to like yourself.
Yeah.
And I also think that most of the people are really beautiful because of who they are inside.
How does dancing in heels make you feel powerful?
I think it's because like you shine, like especially when you're on the stage, or even not on the stage, you just know that you play these characters, or you have a chance to play like different characters, or play like yourself and be different, and it's just great. And also because you have to overcome your you have to still kind of fight with your fears, because like I'm not also good in choreographies. You have to remember the choreography, and then you have to perform it, or like even like by improvisation, you also like you're standing there in the beginning, and you're like, what should I do? And then they like, just do whatever, that's how the improvisation starts. It will not be perfect on the beginning, but just like start to move somehow to the music. And so you're always like making like some steps to be like this better version of yourself. So
Do you like improvisation?
I like improvisation actually more, because you really can feel the music in the moment, but sometimes it's also like scary, because I'm also like perfectionist, and you have to beat like all the beats like perfectly, or to show the music perfectly with your body, but sometimes I'm not. So like it's hard, but it's interesting,
because you can become more expressive.
Like
not trying to remember what the next step is, but just to be in the moment and express yourself.
Exactly. Because like I think there are dancers who are like good in choreographies because they have really good memory, or they also train really hard to remember the choreographies. But they are really good in it, so they feel better in choreographies, and I think I still feel a bit more better in improvisation.
What is the boldest thing that you have done in dancing?
I think boldest thing was when I decided to dance on the street. I think that was really crazy. Even like I remember I got this idea because I saw girls dancing, like two girls. They were like, I think they danced like some Indian dances, and they were on Stephansplatz in Vienna, and there were so many people around them, and I was like, wow, that's so cool, and people were like so happy about to see them, and I was like, I should do that too, I will do that too, because not so many really people are doing that, and I was like, that's exciting, I will do that. That was the first day, and then I woke up in the morning, I was like, I cannot do that. It's the most craziest idea ever. It's so scary to stand up on Stephansplatz and do that. But the excitement in me was bigger than the fear. So that's why I did it anyway.
When was the first time? When did you start performing at Stephansplatz?
I think I did like 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Okay.
But and I was lucky because the first time it was really good. So it was good, and I got actually permission for Stephansplatz, and Stephansplatz was the first place because you can get like different places. So I was lucky that it was Stephansplatz, and it was really good. People liked me and they gave me like nice money. Because then there were some weird places and it was not good. People didn't watch me. But because this first time was successful, I kind of keep in my mind that it's good.
Okay. So every time when you perform, you need to apply for a license, or you apply for a license somewhere and then you can always perform there?
You have to apply like at least 1 month before for the license, but the license is kind of not good because like you get places where you have to perform.
So you don't get to pick the place, but they pick for you?
They pick for you. So that's bad.
Then how do you always end up being given Stephansplatz?
I don't have permission.
Okay. But what happens like if you perform without a permission?
Then police can catch you and can give you a fine.
Oh really? And how much would be the fine?
The fine is 20 euro on the beginning, but then like...
They know your face and next time it will be higher.
Yeah, and and if they catch you like more times, it can be like bigger.
I see. How often do you perform there?
I try to perform often, but like now not that long. Like I try to do like one song usually, but I try to come at least like every second day.
I see.
So that people see me, that they have me in the mind. That I am the dancer, that crazy one.
What do you hope people feel when they watch you dancing?
On the street or generally?
In general.
I think that they feel I'm powerful, like to do also what they like, that they are not afraid to be themselves. Because I also like, what also makes me really happy that when I dance on the street, of course, like I get a lot of hate, but there are people who are coming to me, especially women, and they say, wow, you're so brave, it inspired me. And I was also thinking like, wow, that's so nice to inspire people to do also what they like, because we really think that we cannot do, but you can do anything you want in your life, like anything.
You said that, there are people who are inspired by you, and there are also people who may like raise their eyebrows, what do you think, where this come from?
People who don't like me, they just don't like something about themselves, that they're like so insecure about themselves, that they don't allow themselves to do what they want. So of course they are not happy to see people who are doing what they want for themselves.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense, because it's like a projection of what they missed out.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right, because like also people ask me like what I do when these like annoyed faces are watching me, and I realized that you're right, I'm not that scared of it anymore, because like it just shows it doesn't shows what I am, it shows what the people are, it shows what the people think about themselves, like how they are. So,
And once when you come to realization of that truth, it just suddenly feels very liberating.
yeah, exactly.
You know, because you know it's not about you, it's about them. Do you think that somehow, like from your dance experience, was there a moment where you feel that women are being objectified, like being seen as an object?
Yeah, like especially on the street when I was dancing, like because there, for example, men were coming to me afterwards and they really like ask me like having sex with them for money, or like they ask me even for private dances, but I was like, I'm not doing such things. So or even they ask me for a date and I say like I'm not interested, and they're like, why? It's not sex date, it's just a date, like you should go for a coffee. And I was like, I said no. Also, I don't like that men like that. To some men you really should explain why you say no. No means no, you don't have to explain, I just don't want it.
Do you think that men react differently to heel dance than women?
Yeah, definitely, because I think there are many men who they think that I do it like especially for them or that I want to attract them or like whatever, but I think that's like really the men who are like not that I don't know how to say intelligent. Because there are many men also who are really nice and who come to me and say that it's really artistic and that it's really nice performance, and you see that they are really like
Appreciate.
yeah, that they are nice and they see also it as art and not just like there are some women trying to impress us.
What kind of like judgment or criticism have you ever faced for dancing in heels?
Yeah, I think I was a lot of criticized that it's like too sexy, women should not dress like this, women should not behave like this is too provocative, you're like a bitch. Yeah, especially they told me like men don't like such women, you should be like modest, men don't like such women who are dressed up like this, who dance like this, that's why you don't have a man. And yeah.
And what was your response to that?
When it was like some closer friends, I usually like interrupt the contact with them, or like I say to them that I don't want that they talk to me like this way.
Is it hard to handle these judgment, particularly when it comes from your close friends?
I think I think it is, because the friends are people you like, so you care what they think. But I think I'm lucky because even my parents, like for example my dad is also like, Irina, you should find some normal job. With dancing you cannot make so much money, or like, Irina, don't show me your dancing videos, I'm your dad.
But eventually they gave in, didn't they? Your parents, like they still let you do what you do.
Yeah, because they know that I will because they know me that I will do it anyway, even if they say no.
Where do you think that the judgment from people, on you or on your performance come from? Do you think that they fear, let's say, for example, confident women who own their sensuality?
Before I started dancing, I also couldn't watch the woman. Like on one hand, I really was admired by this. Like I really like this woman to watch them, but by some, I was just jealous, like that they do that and I cannot do that, or like I thought that I cannot do that, and I was trying to find all the imperfections about themselves to actually make me feel better.
The people who fear confident women who own their sensuality, do you think it's because that they themselves fear to embrace their own sensuality?
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure. Yeah, you're right.
And do you think that it happens more often to men or women? This kind of fear?
I think actually to both.
To both, okay.
I think to both, because there are many women, but also actually now I started to recognize how some men are putting me down, and then I'm thinking also like why some man would put me down if he would feel okay with himself,
But why do you think that people fear to own their sensuality?
I think because we are not used to it from the childhood, or for example, also in Russia, it's not normal to talk about like sex.
It's like a taboo.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, so anything that is related to that taboo feels more or less inappropriate
exactly.
in the public view. Do you think that this kind of like social culture can also make women feel uncomfortable embracing their sensual side, like somehow feel ashamed to express their sensuality or embrace their sensuality?
Yeah, for sure. That's like, I think it's a common thing that people tell you that you should not perform like this, you should not show like this, like go and perform in strip clubs, there you fit.
Yeah. The girls that you danced with also share the similar feeling, but then they have to break through it. How did you help them with that?
Yeah, that was really interesting because some girls who like usually all messages starts like, is it like beginner level, because they are really afraid to come, and then usually also when they come they are like also not sure what they should wear, how they should wear. So they are usually like very like modestly dressed on the beginning. And
What is modestly dressed?
like just something like simple, you know, some simple t-shirt or leggings. And for example, now like with girls, we really embrace it, like that you can dress whatever you want, you can dress even underwear, just that you, because we are all like girls and you feel good and you just want to watch yourself in the mirror and like yourself. Even in some classes, I also know that it was like only the best dancers could dress like nicely, or
really?
like or like or if you dress nice, then you attract the attention, and people would think that you should dress also nice, dance also nice.
When you do this provocative street performance, for example, like holding this sign, writing, looking for a rich husband, it gets strong reactions.
Yeah.
How are these reactions? Like both in reality, right on spot, and on social media after you post them?
I think when I was like looking, I was like just looking for a husband, and then I turn on and I had like all these requirements what he has to be. So like it was funny to see. It's same like with dancing. Like there were many people who was laughing so hard. Like you could see that it made them so happy, and then they found it like really funny or really interesting idea or really creative. And then there were other people who were like, and she really thinks that this will work? Do you really think that you will find a husband? And they were like so serious about it, or like so like or like, such man doesn't need a woman like you, and blah blah blah.
But why did you choose this message?
Because I really look for a husband. So I usually like choose messages which are kind of like me, or I feel it like it's funny way to do something, but it's really what is anyway me. So
So what's next for you?
let's see what will be. I also want to be maybe in some another like next TV projects, but it's also like not that easy because you go to many castings and you also got like a lot of rejections. So let's see what it will be, but I hope something nice. And also I want to find a man.
Done it all, had my cake now. Diamonds brilliant and brilliant now. Hot summer nights, mid-July, when you and I were forever wild. The crazy days, city lights, the way you'd play with me my stage.